What's up? Here's a very simple box. This is a box for two DD608Fs. Look at that large port area. You say, man, that's a lot of port area. This is the DD box philosophy. Okay? For this type design, I just want to point out because I want to show some features that all my boxes have. 8s, 10s, or 12s. And as I build more and more, the more and more I'm able to do. A lot of my customers say they sought me out because they see how thick I make my baffle. Now this baffle here is an inch thick. It was the total baffle together, if I hadn't put the recess mount in, would have been 1.5 inches thick. You get that 1.5 inches thick regardless if it is a 6.5, 8s, 10s, that's just something I do. And the reason why is because most of your resonance, most of your vibrations are gonna come where the subwoofer basket and interacts with the baffle here. This needs to be the thickest. All your walls might be 3/4 of an inch thick. Some of them might be 2 inches thick or 1 inch thick. But your baffle always needs to be stronger and thicker than the surrounding enclosure. Now let's go inside. You see braces along the wall, on the port wall. When the port is very long, I like to put braces on the port wall as well to keep that down. I've found, as I've built over the years, starting to utilize more in this technique, because a lot of boxes that I build you don't see, that keeps some of the resonance down even more so. Something that some of you might not hear, but I can. This is a simple brace. I like the column brace more than window bracing. I want to get these two pieces, and mine are very, very thick. I don't use dowels. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do use a dowel. All depends, but most times I have a very thick base in the center of my enclosure, so that when you wrap your knuckles, it doesn't sound hollow. Sounds sturdy. Now, as far as 45s, only 45s you need in the slot port enclosure is the one inside the port. Because that column of air inside that port is, hold on, let me turn the camera around. What I was saying is that column of air inside the port, when you turn the woofers on, the air inside the port is denser than the surrounding air. That is what mimics to make you think the port's breathing. If it has you thinking that air is moving in and out the port, air is not moving in and out of the port. The air inside the port is denser than the surrounding air, and as it impacts it, that's your base wave. Boom, 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 domino effect. Hitting every molecule of air for who knows how long. Depends on what size cone, how much motor force you have from the woofer. Now, so the air in the port on these transition, if it's an L, it must move as one. Putting that 45 inside the port smooths out the air that's inside that smooths out the response. You need to flare the edges as well, and I do that. You see that? I do that. I flare the edges on my port. But the 45 inside the port is the only one that's needed. The 45, all else around the box, is serving no purpose. Because it's not like the air is being circulating through there. The air is not being circulating from the outside in, and you need to direct your air back in and out. No, that's not what that. Because you can't go in, okay? It's not going in and out and all the air being recycled. No. What's actually happening is the air inside the port is a big column of massive air. And it's moving in time with the cone, but out of time, one group delay by one wave. So to reinforce the wave that was already made. So as it hits, boom, boom, it hits the surrounding air. That's it. Then only the heat transfers that might be building from the woofer inside the box, transferring to the air, is occurring right there, but that's it. That's it, true transference. So, get if you need a box 446944818. Like I say, my craftsmanship, whether it's a dual 6.5, dual 8, dual 10, you're gonna at least get 1.5 inch thick baffle. If you want a recess mount, I'll put it on there, but I'm only gonna put enough to keep your baffle at least 1 inch thick. I prefer that you do 1.5. Some people say they want 1.5, and then they want a recess mount, even more so. That's cool too as well. But at least or inch thickness. The number is 404-694-4818. And as always, please listen responsibly. Peace.